Big Time Rush is one of my favorite Nickelodeon shows from back in the day. But over these past few years, every episode was removed from Netflix and Paramount Plus. And now, there is currently no streaming platform where you can watch any episodes, which is a big time bummer. But you're looking for a rewatch, and I see that. Give me time, and you know I'm gonna be that. Well, kind of, in a way, but with commentary and slick jokes. Big Time Beach Party originally aired back in February of 2011. And why it aired in the winter time? I don't know, because this one is an instant summer classic. It's got a drag race on the beach, it features a song by the Beach Boys, and it's even got a special guest appearance by the one and only legendary Tom Kenny as Patchy the Pirate, which is absolutely insane. And also a guest appearance by Russell Brand. But who really cares about that compared to Tom Kenny? This episode actually marks the first time ever where a Spongebob character makes a crossover appearance in another show, because of the strict rules from Steven Hillenburg regarding crossovers, apart from video games and commercial promos. So this episode featuring a guest appearance from Patchy the Pirate is actually a pretty huge deal. And somehow I completely forgot it happened. I did not for the life of me remember that this episode even existed. Oh yeah, and you could also see lighting equipment and cameramen in pretty much all of the sunglass reflection shots. And there's so many of them in this episode that I'm not gonna point out all of them. Just know that it's happening. So in honor of the final days of summer, I thought there was no better time to take a look back at this iconic SpongeBob Big Time Rush crossover episode to see if it's really worthy of being the first ever SpongeBob crossover. So get your bathing suits on and lather up some sunscreen, because we're going to the Big Time Beach Party. As always, if you like this video, please give us a like and maybe even subscribe. I might just grab a squid, let it ink on my chest, and make a painting on a wall if you do. And if you have any other episodes or shows you'd like me to cover, let me know in the comments. Alright, let's dive in. So we start off with the boys reminding Griffin that they once made a deal that they could use his Malibu beach house for a day if they get a #1 record, which they did. Hell yeah, boys.
In Kerplankistan.
You never said where it had to be?
That's a funny fake country name, and I wish we could go there. Griffin decides to honor the deal anyway.
Well played.
And they all start fantasizing about the fun they'll have on the beach. And damn, Carlos, he's roided up. Bro's fantasy is taking roids at the beach. And what? Kendyl's fantasy is lame as hell. He's just dreaming of a smooch with the girl who's already his girlfriend, but with him having a mustache also. Just grow a fucking stash, bro. So the boys have rounded up everyone they know from the Palm Woods to go party in Malibu, but Kendyl's girlfriend Joe is wearing a winter outfit instead because I guess she wants heat stroke. I don't fucking know. She actually explains that she can't come to the beach because she's got to do some reshoots for her project. Why is she already wearing the costume? Put it on at set. Meanwhile, Kendyl's mom is pissed because the boys did not put on sunblock like she told them to, and she actually tries chasing after the bus to give them the sunblock, but they speed away as if mom's gonna bomb the bus. Brothers are determined to get skin cancer. So that's it. Their asses are cooked, and mom sets out to go to the beach to lather them all up with sunscreen against their will. Is that an assault? It depends where she lathers them, I guess. Oh yeah, and Katie tags along too, because she's looking to jumpstart her career in client management, and she hears that Griffin's Malibu beach house is right next door to some famous celebrity.
What's with the emergency Saturday meeting?
Boy blast!
Something about the phrase boy blast really gets me. I've been through a boy blast or two.
Boy blast.
Gustavo is paranoid that the boys will never want to leave the beach after stepping foot on those sandy dunes. Have they never been on the beach ever? Oh, wait, they're from Minnesota, so I guess that checks out. So he decides to sabotage their fun beach day and make it the worst beach day ever. And I respect that he made a bullet point to remind himself to do evil laughter. You gotta commit to the bit. All of the kids get to the beach house and run onto the beach, and the one kid does a flip, and Kendyl honestly looks pissed. He's like, the fuck you flipping for, bro? A weird old man wanders up with his dog and starts yapping about how it's a magical beach they're on because all of the beach movies were filmed there in the 60s, which the episode was actually filmed on Malibu Beach, and there's over 3,365 pieces of media credited as being partially filmed at Malibu Beach on IMDb. be. So I guess the old man is kinda right. Just then, a random beach babe comes up to Kendyl and jumps on his towel with him. Carlos tries hitting on the Jennifers, but they're socially distancing from him and tell him to maintain a 5-foot distance until he has his own beach house. So he tries taking Logan's metal detector in the hopes of striking it rich so he can buy a beach house of his own. And come to think of it, why does Logan have headphones for the metal detector when we clearly hear all the beeping out loud anyway?
I'm James Diamonds. I'll be riding you today.
Okay, James. He goes and tries to catch a wave, but then he fucking dies?
Here comes a wave. Oh, that's a big wave. That's a big wave. Step it up, get in gear, go for broke.
Okay, so he wakes up and it turns out a girl pulled him out of the ocean, even though her clothes barely look wet somehow.
If you're gonna save my life, at least you can tell me your name?
Oh, it's... it's Annie.
Oh,
What? Is she a dolphin? What the hell is happening? Is James gonna fuck a dolphin? Mom shows up with the sunblock and everyone runs like it's a weapon of mass destruction. They act like she's gonna shoot up the beach. Katie realizes that Russell Brand lives next door and she's gonna go hassle him into letting her be his manager. Surely he already has a manager, right? Logan and Carlos find a hook with their metal detector. Is it a dead body? Is it Captain Hook?
who be ruining me beach now? Yeah, real pirates!
Not just any pirate, Patchy the pirate.
Now that is a plot twist, if I've ever seen one. We've seen Victoria's crossover with iCarly. We've seen Drake Bell perform at PCA's Spring Fling on Zoe 101. There's been plenty of Nickelodeon crossovers, but until now, no live-action show has been bold enough to cross into the SpongeBob SquarePants multiverse. And actually, the implications of this are wild. Can Big Time Rush go underwater and perform in Bikini Bottom? They could give boys who cry a run for their money, come on now. Patchy explains he's looking for some buried treasure, and no he wasn't. He was passed out in the sand like a lifeless body.
Buried treasure?
Ah, the treasure of me great-grandpappy Scratchy the pirate. I got his map right here. Oh, no, that's a doodle of me finding the treasure.
How could he see that drawing if it was facing the boys? He didn't even look at it. Patchy finds the real map and goes off treasure hunting. And of course, Logan and Carlos chase after him. Also, socks on the beach? Huh? Cut to Kendyl and the random girl who's all over him. And he says he has to go back up to the beach house for some stuff. Why not just say, I have a girlfriend, I'm not interested.
Call me. I put my number, email, and scuttlebutter in your phone.
The hell is a scuttlebutter?
Call me.
I will. Okay.
Kendyl is a man whore. Mom pops up and tries attacking him with the sunblock cum shot, but he dodges it and runs back to the beach house. Then the random girl somehow beats him up the stairs? How? Her legs must be jacked.
I'll be riding you today.
Why is there such a spread laid out in the background? Lobsters? Clams? A ton of buns? These are high schoolers on an impromptu beach day trip, and it looks like they got full catering.
I broke up with my boyfriend, so we can go out.
She had a boyfriend in the last scene and she was acting like that? She is for the streets, but I can fix her.
I already have a girlfriend.
I know. Me. Check out your Scuttlebutter page. I updated your status and your photos.
And on the Scuttlebutter posts, it shows pictures of Kendyl and her together. And one picture is just a normal selfie, but in the other, the girl's hand is holding Kendyl. Who the fuck took the second picture? Kendall's real girlfriend, Jo, calls him and asks what the hell's going on because this rando girl posted pics of them together all cozy on a blanket. And the rando tells her to fuck off and that she's with Kendyl now. She then yeets the phone before Kendyl can correct the situation. And is this sexual coercion? I don't think Kendyl is consenting to this relationship. Logan and Carlos help Patchy crack the code on his treasure map, and honestly, it's surprising to see Patchy focus on any task at all besides watching SpongeBob. Bro is usually a SpongeBob nymphomaniac. He can't go more than 30 seconds without bringing up SpongeBob. But here, he doesn't mention him once. And James is still convinced the girl that rescued rescued him from the ocean as part sea creature when she starts chomping on some raw clams, shell and all. My teeth would shatter. He asks Camille what she thinks about it, and she drops some tea about mermaid lore.
Mermaids on land had to avoid getting wet because they would immediately sprout a tail.
So all I have to do is get her down to the beach, get her wet.
Get her wet. Get her wet.
But wait, this all started because she rescued James from drowning, right? Wouldn't being in the water have given her a tail then? Think about what you're saying, Camille! Kendall's mom pops up and tries to squirt James with some sunblock too, but he dodges her. And I just noticed, it's SPF 9000. That's pretty fucking insane. Katie goes on to Russell Brand's private property and lays out her business proposition to him, but he brushes her off as being a little kid and tells her to come back after she graduates college. But she notices he's pissed about the party not going to plan. It's missing the ice sculpture and the vegetarian weenies.
I specifically asked for vegetarian cocktail weenies. I had a dream. I want weenies at my party. I want my party to be full of weenies.
So she heads off to make some magic happen. Gustavo and Kelly show up with stink bombs to ruin the boys' day, but Gustavo accidentally knocks them over while locked in the car, effectively creating a gas chamber. There's no oxygen in there. Brother is dying. Back with Patchy the pirate, Carlos digs in the spot where the map led them, and they find a whoopee cushion with instructions for finding the next clue. So it turns out this is a big old scavenger hunt. Kendyl recruits the Jennifers to help him get rid of the new stalker girl that thinks she's his new girlfriend, but instead, she snaps a pic of him getting all the hoes and posts it for his real girlfriend to see. And why is she just standing there on her phone waiting for updates? Isn't she supposed to be busy working? Even if she has a break, why is she just waiting for the post notifications of a random person? It's not even Kendyl who posted it. Hold up, why the fuck does Joe have an app that's just a skull and crossbones? Does bitch have the Order a Hitman app? All of these apps actually make no sense. An app just for brightness?
It's Joe. Oh, now you've got all the Jennifers on your beach blanket.
Look, Joe, I can explain everything. This is crazy, man. What? Weird.
He runs off to escape the crazy stalker bitch, and then we get to hear the song Boyfriend, one of their best ever, possibly the best Big Time Rush song ever. Absolute banger. But I can't help but notice, it's a reused song, and it's cut down. Disappointing, yes, and a bit surprising. I didn't remember them reusing songs when I was younger, but apparently, a handful of songs do make a comeback in a sort of reprise. But hey, still a banger. Some of the plot continues in the form of a montage during this song, like Patchy's treasure hunt and James trying, unsuccessfully, to get this new girl wet to test if she's a mermaid. Oh, James.
Get her wet.
And then, at other times, it's just them dancing around vibing on the beach. The song ends with Mom finally getting some sunblock on the boys, but it's too late. The day's half over. The skin cancer is setting in by now. Just then, the crazy girl's ex-boyfriend, you know, the one she dumped to be with Kendyl, shows up.
It's time for Tad to get bad. Hey,
Hold on, gang. You gotta settle this like men. With a surf contest or a dance-off.
This isn't over, Hollywood.
And rides off. And this kind of reminds me of Johnny Lawrence riding off the beach on his motorcycle in The Karate Kid. I love that shit. The final clue of the treasure hunt leads them to a spot inside Griffin's beach house, and they realize his house must have been built on top of the treasure. They go to the basement to see if they can dig straight through the floor, but the basement is pretty fancy. Yikes. Back with Russell Brand, which is kind of a weird random guest star for this episode. I really don't get it. Katie fixes every problem at his garbage rich person party, but he still refuses to hire her as the manager because she's too small. So she volunteers to read some scripts for him, still hoping to win him over. James keeps falling more and more in love with the girl who's possibly a mermaid, but Camille warns him that if he kisses her, he could turn into a merman.
Great! Yeah, that would be awesome. Let's meet up later.
Bye.
Patchy draws a giant X on the floor in the basement, and Carlos starts jackhammering away. But instead of creating a hole in the floor, he just destroys all of the precious collectibles that are held down there. Seriously, a Ming vase could be $500,000 and up. Dear God. Also, in the time they took to paint the X, they could have just carefully moved every vase to a different room before jackhammering. Meanwhile, Kendyl hides from the angry boyfriend and the crazy girl with his head under a bucket and his body completely buried. And that really had to have taken a lot of effort for a 10-second scene. At least now he's protected from the sun like his mom always wanted. Camille tries to get James ready for life under the sea by having him get used to flippers and spraying him with fish spray so he can adjust to the smell. And wait a second, I thought the whole point of this plot was them trying to find out whether or not the girl was a mermaid.
Mermaids are real.
So how do I find out?
But now it's like they've already decided that she is one. And instead, it's about him learning about adapting to a new mermaid life.
I love cheeseburgers and man spray and my feet.
Then you're gonna have to tell Annie it's over.
Seriously, what happened to trying to dump water on her to see if she'd grow a tail or not? Down in the basement, they actually find the buried treasure that's been in Patchy's family for generations. But of course, it's locked. When jackhammering away at the lock doesn't work, they all try to think of another solution, and we get some quick body horror. Gross. Kendyl finally tells the annoying girl to fuck off once and for all, and she goes back to her boyfriend and whines that Kendyl hurt her feelings and to beat him up. But luckily, the old man pops up and suggests a drag race instead, and the loser has to leave the beach forever.
Drag race, drag race, drag race, drag race.
Gustavo and Kelly overhear the deal, and Gustavo realizes that this is perfect. All he has to do is make sure Kendyl loses the drag race. And then we get the best moment of the entire episode.
High five!
RIP to a legendary character. And that's the second death for him in this episode, if anyone's keeping track. Miraculously, and defying all laws of physics, he clings to life, and some of the kids do flips over his mangled, broken, and deformed body. Grandpa offers to let Kendyl use his ATV for the big drag race, which is great, but the bigger issue is that Kendyl has never driven an ATV before in his life. Of course he hasn't. His mom cares about SPF safety. She isn't playing when it comes to skin cancer, so I really doubt she would let her son on an ATV. In fact, ATV accidents cause over 100,000 emergency room visits, with a significant portion of the injuries and fatalities involving children under 16. Damn. To be honest, in terms of safety, Kendyl would probably be better off just doing a fist fight against this bozo. Back with Patchy, they decide to fire a fucking cannon at the treasure chest. That's hilarious.
Wait a minute.
That's even more hilarious. Honestly, a 10 out of 10 joke, but also, they definitely could have killed someone, easily. Russell Brand complains to his manager that the band he sent for the party is trash, and Katie overhears this and knows it's another chance to move on in.
Sign with Night Management right now, and I will have a rocking band with an international #1 hit here in an hour.
James doesn't think he wants to be a merman, so he decides to break up with the mermaid girl, but he ends up kissing her instead. The tale as old as time.
Ah, the mermaid's kiss! Oh, the transformation is upon me! It's metamorphosis!
But of course, it turns out nothing happens because she is in fact not a mermaid.
Yeah, I've been a competitive swimmer since I was 3. I ate the clam shell and all because it's a trick that my dad taught me, who owns the ocean floor. The restaurant, right down the beach, you know?
Okay. What about the dolphin noises though? That is never explained. Seriously, I kept waiting for it to be revealed that she actually is a dolphin, but it just never happens, and she never brings up the dolphin noises again. What the fuck were those? Back with Patchy, Carlos complains they've had no luck today.
We had no luck today. Which is weird considering I've had me lucky key with me the whole time.
They open up the treasure chest, and to my surprise, there is actually treasure in there. I thought it would be some bullshit like a note that says, the real treasure was the memories you created on your journey. But Griffin shows up right then and immediately confiscates it. Since they destroyed his sports car and his basement full of Ming vases, which are essentially priceless items, he needs to take his money back. Everyone heads over to the drag race, and they try to hype up Kendyl, but his competition, Tad, is getting pretty hyped up too.
It's time for Tad to get rad!
But when it all starts, Tad takes off. Kendyl can't even get his ATV to kick into gear, since he has no idea what he's doing. Okay, there he goes. Wait, how are they so close? They're like neck and neck. He couldn't even figure out how to kick the thing into gear and get it moving in the beginning. Tad should have a massive lead. Gustavo decides to step out in front of Kendyl, so that he'll be forced to hit the brakes and stop, allowing the other guy to win. But the plan backfires when Kendyl simply doesn't stop. Bro's gotta win. If someone has to die, so be it. So that's the third death in this episode for Gustavo. And during the race, we get some epic jumps, and it's a pretty fun scene. But a drag race is a straight line from start to finish as quick as you can go. Not an entire fucking race course around the entire beach. It's not a fucking drag race, it's just a race. Kendyl's stunt double wins the race, and he shows zero concern for likely just killing Gustavo a moment ago. In fact, nobody even goes to check on him or even brings it up again. The crazy stalker girl tries getting back with Kendyl now that he's the big winner, but he tells her he only wants to be with his real girlfriend, Jo. And luckily, Camille was on FaceTime with her, and she heard all of it.
Don't leave that beach. I'm on my way.
The old man pops up to say all we need now is a big beach song, even though they already had one of those when they performed Boyfriend on the beach earlier. And then right on cue, Katie pops up and invites them to perform at Russell Brand's party. Cut to the big finale song, with them on stage performing for Russell Brand's rich friends. And wait, didn't Kendall's girlfriend just say, "Don't leave that beach, I'm on the way"? And then they immediately left to go sing at this party? But we do see her show up and watch the performance, and Kendyl waves to her from on stage, so I guess all is well. Gustavo is also confirmed to be alive, which is fantastic. If he was a cat with 9 lives, he'd be down to 6 after this, but it's great to see him still kicking. Oh yeah, and Russell Brand finally caves and hires Katie to be his manager. They're also shown dancing together for about 2 seconds, which I don't like that. And honestly, this episode would have been just as good without including Russell Brand at all. Him being a guest star in this just felt kinda random and pointless. It didn't add much to the episode at all. And now that he's been charged with multiple counts of rape and sexual assault involving 4 separate women, and even replaced in the Despicable Me franchise, it does kind of age the episode in a weird way for him to be included. But Patchy, on the other hand, 11 out of 10 guest star. No notes, just sheer comedic perfection. Tom Kenny fits right in with the Big Time Rush gang and their silly style of humor, and he had me laugh in this episode in one of those good old-fashioned belly laughs that feels like it's good for your lungs. What? Truly an unexpected work of art, one of the best crossover appearances I think I've ever seen. I do also wish maybe this episode had debuted a new summer beachy vibe Big Time Rush song. That would have been kind of dope. Instead, we got a song sequence of Boyfriend, which fantastic song, don't get me wrong, but we've already heard it. And then the ending song, Dance, Dance, Dance by the Beach Boys, which is also catchy, but again, not a new original Big Time Rush song. But that's just me being a little picky. It was still a great summer episode, and the 2 songs were both bangers, even though they were both technically not new. The entire episode also felt kind of like a fever dream. It was pretty trippy, but I kind of liked it. I can't say I didn't. But enough of me yapping. What did you guys think of Big Time Rush, Big Time Beach Party? Are you adding this one to your list of summer classics like I am? Or should it stay as forgotten buried treasure hidden away in the sand? Let me know how you're feeling in the comments, and let's kick it. And as always, I gotta give a massive, throbbing, sensual, erotic shout out to the Patreon and channel members. You guys are amazing. You guys are great. You guys make me so happy. Thanks for the support. If you're still here, that's amazing. I respect it. Why not check out some other videos and make sure you're subscribed? All right, thanks for listening.